Hey, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer to the government. Because I'm going to share this out, let everybody know that we are here and we're rocking it right here on the channel over here with Felicia Streeter, where we talk about everything government contracting. So come on in, let us know who you are and where you're joining from, because we are here live and in full effect. So let us know who you are, where you're joining from. I'm just going to post this out on social media real quick and let everybody know that we are here live. I know it's a different time than normal. I see you guys coming on in. Hey, happy Tuesday, whether it's morning for you or afternoon, lunchtime, just depends on where you're at in the world. But let us know who you are and where you're joining from. And we're going to share this out and let everybody know we are here live. I appreciate you guys coming a little bit late today. I was actually hanging out with my Contractors Edge Bootcamp students this morning. Just because of the inauguration tomorrow, we just wanted to make sure that we could serve everybody and allow them to do whatever they wanted to do tomorrow in that regard. So that's why we moved that up over to today. And then we had to bump this back a little bit later. So, hey, Tamara, welcome. A lot of you guys, you be asking about those certifications. You want someone to do your certifications or help you do your certifications. Tamara does that. She works with a lot of my students in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. So she is a part of the team and she helps us in that regard. So I appreciate her, coming, hanging out with us today. Nolita, hey. I believe, Nolita, if I'm correct, I think you did the boot camp a few sessions ago. I can't remember. I know we talked about it. It's been a while, but welcome back. Welcome back. Who else we have? Camilla, welcome. Tell us what you do, Camilla. I don't remember what you do. Nolita, you can tell us as well. And we have my moderator in the house today. Latricia's here joining us. So I appreciate that. You guys know whenever I do those workshop series, webinars and all that stuff, Latricia helps me in the background with all of that stuff. She's really, really awesome. So I appreciate that, Latricia. And Latricia offers various services in that regard. So if you're launching something or you need some back end support, definitely check out Latricia. She helps my company as well. So I have a couple of my teaming partners here. As I pointed out, Tamara and Latricia. So I appreciate them. They make it all happen in the background. I come, I show up, I teach and I train. That's what I do. I stay in my lane and do that. And that's going to be really pertinent as we move into the topic for today. So understand what I just shared with you guys, that I got a package. I'm getting a lot of packages today. I don't know. But I shared with you guys today, or I'm going to share with you, I should say today, it relates to that, like preparing and being ready. And so, yeah, so that's why I wanted to point out Tamara and Latricia to you guys today. Let me pull up my notes because they help make it happen. Like I couldn't do it without them. So I appreciate that. And especially, like I said, Tamara helping our boot camp students. And anytime people reach out to me on social media and they're asking for the hands-on guidance of someone doing it for them and things like that, I send them to Tamara for the certifications. And I don't know if you guys know, but she's one of my success stories as well. So yeah, she knows how to do it. Okay, who else we have here? Trinessa, I always say your name wrong, but I think you call yourself something else. How's it been, girl? Yeah, she's awesome. So welcome back. She's done the boot camp, doing some awesome things. Freres, I hope I'm saying that right. Hello. Welcome. Camilla has a cleaning company and she loves my videos. Thank you. You should connect with Tamara. She does. She has a background in the janitorial area as well. All right. Okay, Camilla, you're going to do a wholesale company. Cool. What are you going to sell? Awesome. Trinessa has a mobile company. You connect homebound seniors with DHS services. Yes, that is so awesome and probably really needed right now. I hope you're looking out there to see what type of contracting opportunities are available where you can help those people and support them, because I know it's a need. They talk about it on the news. And that's another thing. Before we get into the topic today, with everything that's going on in the world, I know a lot of times we don't want to watch the news. I get it. Nobody really wants to watch the news. But if you pay attention, a lot of times they're going to tell you where your services or products are currently needed. So it's another avenue just to, have an ear to the ground and hear what is needed in your local area. So yeah, definitely check that out. Nolita is cleaning, and she does drug screening. That's cool. Awesome. A lot of I know up north, manufacturing companies are using drug screening. So yeah, again, ear to the ground. So you just have to be out there and listening. All right. So we also have more people here than, that's saying hello, but to you guys as well. Hello. I know sometimes we're shy and we don't want to introduce ourselves, but let me just tell you, in the government contracting world, you're going to have to show up and be visible. So get used to it. Okay. And this is a great place to do that. So definitely, if you're just joining, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, what you offer to the government. If this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. You won't miss out. And like this video. All right, so we're going to dive into today's content. If this is your first time here, which a few of you, I know it is, I'm Felicia over at FeliciaStreeter.com. And I help you guys, get into government contracting, get your first bid done fast after that. And then I help you get into larger and longer contracts. How cool is that? So yeah, that's what we do around here in these worlds. Hey, Donna. All right, Donna's in Atlanta, property preservation. Yep, remember Donna? I believe Donna did the boot camp too. So awesome. So we're going to dive into today's topic. So if you notice, for some time here on the channel, we talked about a variety of things, but everything revolving around government contracting and business. And so I want to take it up a notch and take it to another level for you guys, because here's the thing. Of course, you need to know how to bid contracts. You need to know how to win the contracts. But what about after you are awarded the contract? What do you do? And so a lot of times I get people coming back to me after the fact, or they find me, they've won a contract and now they don't know what to do. So I want to share with you today some things that you guys can start preparing, because we like to be proactive over here and be prepared. So some things that you can start putting into place, but that you can also act on when you win your first contract. And of course, you'll do this, for the duration every time you win a contract. But here's the thing, you're going to get there. If you think you're not, you will. And so let's get you prepared for when you win that contract. All right. So let me get my notes here. Okay. Yeah. Now let me just share with you guys. So if you think about it, we're going to talk about what you should do or what you need to do after the contract is awarded. And this is what I'm sharing with you guys here today is a little piece taken from my 5-part government contracting framework, where we talk about perform. And so this is something that we talk about at a higher level inside of my next level government contractor program. So here we go. We're going to talk about prepare to perform is the first thing we want to talk about. Now, what do you need to do? And so I'm going to share with you things that I do within my own company. It still works. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys here today. So the first thing you want to do is prepare to perform. What does that look like? You've been awarded the contract, right? So now it's like, okay, we have to get some paperwork in order. We have to have some systems in place to make sure we're able to execute on our promise. So what I like to have in place is my project directory, is what I call it, my project directory. And I share it with the next level contractors. Okay. But anyway, it's a spreadsheet or document. You can make it however you want, but it's a document where you're going to have all of the pertinent information. So here's the information you're going to have within this project directory, because you're going to always need to have it handy. Trust me, you're going to use it. and you just want to know where everything lies, what the particulars are. And so inside of your project directory, you're going to have the project information. You're going to have the customer's information, who's the salesperson, if you have a salesperson, if you have a project assistant that's going to help assist you with that particular project. And even if you're in a company where you have multiples, ideally, usually what happens is you're going to assign one person to assist, be the project assistant or project coordinator on that particular project. So you'll put them in there. And then if it requires a superintendent or a project manager, you will identify who that person is. Now, within all of the key personnel, right? And you should know who these people are beforehand. So I'm not covering that piece because you should have done that when you were putting your bid together. You kind of identify and kind of know who's going to sit in these roles. So once you have that, the key personnel, you want to make sure that you outline the function of each person. It's going to be very, very important to know what pieces of the puzzle each person will put together. And so you need to know the person's function. You want to make sure you have their contact information handy. That's why we have the project directory. And here's the reason why, because one of those key people could be within another company. So if that's the case, of course, you're going to put what company they work for, you know, their name, all of the contact information, phone number, email address, physical address. If you're using fax machines, all of that information you want to make sure you have handy. If they have a company phone number, but then they have a personal phone number, include both. If you have the company general email, but their personal email, include both. Okay, so you want to make sure all of that pertinent information is within your project directory. And if you create a template, you can just plug it in every time you're in a new project. Okay, the next thing you want to make sure you have handy. So, you know, when you're awarded the contract, they will send you the award information, you know, your little packet, reiterating the statement of work. I like to pull that out. I like to have that handy. So I'll have the statement of work handy, right? Separated from all of the other stuff, because you're going to reference that quite often. Okay, so you want to make sure you have your statement of work. You also want to make sure you have handy any blueprints, plans, images, anything they provided that will help you deliver on the promise. Also, if maybe you went through a walkthrough, a pre-bid meeting, and you took pictures, images, or anything like that, you want to make sure you compile those documents, images as well. Okay. You also want to make sure you have the form 1449. This is the form they're going to send back. Remember, when you submit your proposal, you're going to put in, you know, most of the time there's a 1449 that you'll have to fill out. Well, they send a different one once the contract is awarded. Within that, they're going to tell you how much the contract has been awarded to you for. So they're going to give you a dollar amount. They're going to tell you who's going to make the payments to you. They're also going to put the timeline as far as delivering on the promise. In addition to that, you'll have a signing authority with the government. Maybe it's the contracting officer. They will have signed off. Let me see. What am I missing? Yeah. Okay. And timeline. So all of that will be in the form 1449. You want to keep that handy because you may have to reference that. The next thing you want to make sure you do, remember I said they're going to tell you how payments are going to be made. And they usually tell you this inside the solicitation too. So you have to read it. I can't stress enough. And I tell this to my bootcamp students all the time, even when I'm helping them go through the solicitation and write their proposal. I'm like, you have to read the solicitation. You can't, let me turn that on mute. You can't expect me or anyone else to help you if you have not read the solicitation. So don't be lazy. And don't wait to the last minute. Remember, I tell you guys all the time, your lack of preparation is not my emergency. Same thing when it goes to the contracting officers or anyone else you're looking to help you. They're going to tell you your lack of preparation is not their emergency. With that being said, you have to read the solicitation. Have to read the solicitation. Here's a point as to why. Because when you pull out the statement of work, if it doesn't correlate to one, the solicitation scope of work, if it doesn't correlate to what you put in your proposal as to what you're going to do, then you need to have a conversation with the contracting officer. See why it's important to read, pull documents out, and then reread it again. Okay, so it's very, very important. So now they're going to tell you how they're going to pay you. They'll tell you this inside of the solicitation as well. A lot of agencies use the WAF system, WAWF. And so if this is your first contract, well, that means you need to go get registered in that system, because that's how you're going to submit your request for payments. Okay. So if that's what you need to do, then you'll set that up. If they're using a different system, they will definitely direct you to that system. And if it's your first time, you need to make sure you get registered and signed up in that system. Don't wait until you're getting ready to submit your invoice, because it may take time. What if you have issues? Do it in the forefront. That's why it's important to have this time where you're going through the documents, you're compiling everything and setting it up. So all of this, what I'm sharing with you, you can definitely do it. Let me show you one of my folders. You can definitely do it, with papers. So like, here's one of mine. We like to have the front flap here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Front flap here has the middle piece, and then it has flaps here and all of that great stuff. So yeah, handy dandy. I like paper, but I also save it digitally as well. You can do either or both. Just make sure if it's digital, you're not saving everything to a thumb drive, because they'll crash. I've had it happen. I've called the tech person and like asked them, can they recover it? I know the answer is no, but I'm hoping for a Hail Mary, but we don't get it. So just make sure whatever form of documentation, how you're saving your documents, that is secure and you have them. So that's why I do both, digital and paper, especially when the contract is awarded. It's just very, very important to know what things are and what they're said. So whatever the payment processing system they're going to use, make sure you're set up in that. Again, at this point, you should have your bank account already set up. If they're going to pay by credit card, you should be able to accept credit cards. So you need to know who's your customer and how they make payments. Okay. And then depending on what level you're playing at, as far as contract size, dollar values, you'll also know whether they can put it on a credit card or they're going to do an EFT transfer to your bank account. Okay. All right. So the next thing you want to make sure you have handy is the solicitation and any amendments. All of this is going to direct you into your statement of work and what you're going to actually do. So you just want to make sure everything is in alignment. Have it there for you if you need to reference anything. Make sure you have those documents. And if you have the documents saved and stored in your company, if someone was to go in and maybe try to change something, you can say, no, here's the original. Here's what it said, right? You get what I'm saying? Okay, cool. The next thing is your invoicing process. So now you've been awarded a contract. You do know in most cases, you're going to send an invoice. You're going to have to invoice the government, and then in turn, they will pay you. It's a paper trail. Okay. So with that being said, you want to make sure you have some type of invoicing system that you're going to use, whatever that process will be, whatever accounting software you're going to use. Most accounting softwares, I know QuickBooks, you can invoice from within QuickBooks. You can even receive the payment back through QuickBooks. Okay, so they are a payment processor. Now, another thing I want to encourage you and make sure you have ready and prepared is within your invoice, make sure you have your company logo and all your company information already on your invoice. Within QuickBooks, you can do that. You can put your logo on it, whatever pertinent company information that needs to be there. You can already have that on your invoice. If you're doing it in an Excel spreadsheet, that's cool too. Just make sure you put that pertinent information. All right. Now, here's the next piece. This is really, really important. So here's what we're doing. You've been awarded the contract. It's been awarded to your company. So you're going to start compiling the documents. I showed you the folder that I use. You're going to compile documents and start putting things together physically and digitally, right? However you decide to do it, or if you do both. So you're going to set up your folders and that kind of thing, have all the paperwork together as we talked about, knowing what you need to do, what needs to happen. And then it's time to have a team meeting. You need to have a kickoff meeting. Kickoff meetings are very, very important. It's making sure that everybody's on the same page. They know what role they're going to play, what their responsibilities are, timelines. All of that will be discussed during your kickoff meeting. Don't skip the meeting. Don't skip the meeting, because you think you'll give people the document and they're going to read it, and they might, but sometimes an interpretation can be different. And so it's your project. You're in charge of it. You're responsible. Have the kickoff meeting and make sure all your key personnel are on the same page and they understand everything, and allow them to ask any questions that they need to ask, just to assure, again, that everybody is on the same page with the timeline, cost, everything. So schedule and hold your kickoff meeting. Make sure all your key personnel is present. Again, discuss the roles and responsibilities. Talk about the schedule. Your schedule is your timeline from starting to completion. And, make sure you talk about the action steps that each person will take once you guys mobilize. Who's going to do what? When are they going to do it? And by when? And if your piece correlates with someone else's and you need to do yours before they can do theirs, how are you going to communicate all of that? And make sure your schedule is in alignment with that. Okay. So for example, if, your schedule says, maybe you're doing, I don't know, I think a lot of you guys are talking about cleaning. So maybe it's a cleaning project and, you're going to have to clean and then at the end buff the floors and polish the floors. Well, you're not going to bring the people to polish the floors before they dust and clean, because if you do that and you polish first, then the floors get all messed up. So you can't put the polishing of the floors on the schedule before the initial cleaning. Does that make sense? I hope you guys get what I'm saying there. So just make sure you have all that in alignment, okay? And then lastly, this is number 9, and I'll recap for you guys. You want to make sure you deliver on your promise. That promise could be whether it's a service or a product. I think most of you guys here today are doing a service. Those of you that told me what you're doing, I believe it's all a service. Yeah. Okay. So make sure you deliver on the promise according to the schedule. Make sure you mobilize the people to do the work. So once you mobilize people, again, it's your project. You have to manage those people and make sure they do the work correctly and on schedule. So you have to monitor that, and you have to have something in place to monitor and track that. Okay. If you're providing a product, then, you may have to order from the manufacturer. You're going to need to know their timeline, schedule for delivery, and then who will accept the product at your customer's location. Will the customer accept the product, depending on what it is, or do you need to be there to accept the product? You need to make that very, very clear so you know. And then how is the checks and balances are going to be in place of receiving the product? Because it's a little bit different in service and product, right? Because product can come up missing. Okay, so you have to have someone there. If it's not going to be you, it's not going to be the customer, whoever you decide to be there to receive the product, you want to make sure you can depend on them. And in any, phases of this, whoever you have on your team, you really want to make sure you can depend on them. So let's recap. 1, you're going to prepare to perform. So that's your project directory, all of the pertinent contact information, things like that, who's going to play on your team. Your statement of work, you want to have that handy. Any images, blueprints, plans that you need to reference in relation to the contract, have that handy. Your form 1449 is all of the important information. Want to make sure you have that. Make sure you're set up in any of the, or whichever processing system they're going to use, if you're going to have to submit your invoices that way. Solicitations and amendments, if you have any of those, make sure you have those handy. Invoicing process, what will that look like? Have that set up. Have your kickoff meeting, and then deliver on your promise. Okay, so those are the things you want to make sure you have in place. You want to make sure you have in place. Again, you don't want to be in a situation where maybe they're going to do a credit card payment, but you can't take credit cards. So now you're, hurrying, trying to find a payment processor. You don't want to do that. Or you don't do the steps and you're ready to invoice, and then you find out that you have to be registered in one of their systems in order to submit the invoice. Remember, if I can't stress this enough, their mentality is your lack of preparation is not their emergency. So you need to know what you need to do beforehand, and you can't wait to the last minute. Okay? If you run into problems on your project, make sure you reach out to the contracting officer ASAP. ASAP. Okay? Communication is key. Okay? A lot of times you may think, well, if I tell them I'm going to lose the contract, that's not always the case, because sometimes things happen that are not within our control. But if you don't communicate it to them, it's like you're hiding something. And so who wouldn't have an issue with that? So make sure the doors of communication is open. All right. So I do want to invite you guys this Thursday. I am doing a webinar on the three behind the scenes secrets to bidding contracts. So if you have not joined me for that webinar training, it's free. Come hang out with us this Thursday. It is January 21st. I can't remember the time. I think it's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, but let me give you the link. You can just go over to FeliciaStreeter.com/training, as well as is on the actual website. You can just, free training. You can go there and sign up. It's free, no cost to you. If you can't make it live, still sign up so that you can get the replay, and then you can watch the replay. Okay, we're going to talk about how to approach contracts as you're going to bid them, like how to look at them, how to decide how your approach should be on every opportunity, because I know we think that it should be the same all the time, and it is not. It depends on the contracting opportunity before you. And so you need to know how to decipher how you will approach the opportunity. And so we're going to do that during that time on that webinar. Okay. And I put the link down there for you guys. And I'm even going to share some of my students' approach and how they looked at the approach and those results that they got based on what they did. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. Hopefully it'll ring home with some of you guys, and then you can go out and start looking at your opportunities differently. Okay. So that's all I have for today. Who else do we have here? Let's see. Jay Mitchell from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome. So go ahead. If this is your first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. And all of you guys here, go ahead and like this video. All right. We do live trainings on Tuesdays. So make sure you come hang out with us on Tuesdays for our live trainings. Again, we're doing a webinar this Thursday. I'm sharing the secrets on bidding contracts, how you can approach your contracts and start winning some contracts like you guys don't even know. It's going to be a game changer. So come hang out with us. I put the link down below. It's FeliciaStreeter.com/training. Sign up. Come join us live. If you can't make it live, check out the replay. All right. So until next time, I'll see you guys right back here real soon. Bye for now.